We all know how people love the Immortal SMG, but with this season, it might have some competition. With Season of the Witch, obviously, we got a variety of new weapons, and with the Crucible specifically, we got a Stasis SMG called the Unending Tempest that could come with some pretty good rolls for PvP, so let's go over the God Rolls and what to look out for on this weapon. Now, on how to obtain this SMG, there are a couple ways. If you complete a Crucible match, you can get the SMG to drop at the end of the match, and what's pretty cool is that you can also just turn in your engrams, pray you get it, but once you get the SMG from that Crucible match, you can actually go into focus decoding and actually just use your Crucible engrams to get the perfect roll that you want. So this is what the SMG looks like. Just going over its base stats, you know, it is a precision frame. This is a 600 round per minute SMG, and it does come with a new origin trait perk called Nadir Focus. Nadir seems to be the new foundry. As you know, most foundry weapons have their little symbol in the top left, so must be a new foundry or something in the lore. I'm not entirely sure, but its origin trait is pretty interesting. Sustained fire increases accuracy and range, increases lunge distance of swords, and projectile velocity of launchers. That's a lot of bonuses for pretty much doing sustained fire. I do want to quickly cover PvE because there are some pretty good perks here that cater to PvE, and as you know, SMGs are very good in PvE content, and if you have a stasis build or something with stasis, you can potentially use this SMG in those activities. So quickly just covering PvE, barrel, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter. For magazine, you definitely want to offer something like tac mag or a pendant mag for a bigger magazine, maybe even flared magwell as well for a faster reload. In trade column number 1, we do have the option of subsistence, so whenever you get a kill, it does partially refill the magazine. We have a new perk called Enlightened Action, so when you deal damage, it improves reload speed and handling. Overall, just kind of a bonus when you do damage. And we also have Demolitionist, so when you get kills, it gives you grenade energy, and when you throw your grenade, it reloads the weapon, which again, great option. For trade column number 2, we do have a lot of options. First up being target lock. Again, this is where we're going to talk about PvP in a minute, but target lock is good in PvE as well. Again, having that damage increase the longer you sustain, weapon damage on a target. Also comes with surrounded, so if there's a lot of enemies within close proximity, you do get that bonus damage. Multi-kill clip. Classic perk. Basically, as long as you get 3 kills, you can get multi-kill clip times 3 to get that increased damage. Also, another classic perk can come with Frenzy. Again, being in combat for an extended time increases damage handling and reload speed until you are out of combat. Fantastic option. Also, can come with Cascade Point. I wouldn't recommend it for this weapon specifically, but final blows or sustained precision hits with another weapon increase the weapon's rate of fire for a short duration. Can potentially be good for PvP. We'll talk about that one later. Collective Action, when you collect an elemental pickup, gives you bonus damage. And then lastly, Adrenaline Junkie. Weapon gains increased damage and handling from final blows with grenades or the weapon. If you get a grenade kill, bumps up to ×5, that's max damage, or you can get 5 kills with the weapon, and that will, bring it up to ×5, one by one. Like I said, great perk options for PvE content in general, but as you can tell from the footage, the main thing I want to talk about is PvP and what God Roll to look out for, because this thing performs extremely well in the Crucible. So let's go over the perks to look out for PvP. Under the barrels, I like Hammerforge for the range. You could do full bore for even more range, but you do lose out on stability and handling. Same thing with the extended barrel. You do lose out on handling, you do get a bump to range, but it does help recoil direction, so you can keep that in mind. If you strictly want to focus on recoil direction, you could do arrowhead break. If you want a middle ground, do small bore. If you want strictly stability, do polygonal rifling. Under the magazine, there really is only one option in my opinion, and that is accurized rounds. If you can get it, again, that is just a bump to range for this thing. Tac mag isn't awful. You basically get a bump to all your stats, including the magazine as well. If you strictly want to focus on stability, you can do steady rounds, but note you do lose out on range. Next, let's go over the trait perks. These are the things that are going to make this weapon what it is in the Crucible. Trait column number 1, first one that stands out is Perpetual Motion. Weapon gains bonus stability, handling, and reload speed while the wielder is in motion. You're sprinting half the time in the Crucible, so having those bonuses going into a gunfight is going to be good. You could always do the classic moving target. Again, increased movement, speed, and target acquisition when moving while aiming down sights. Again, a classic. I do like Killing Wind. Final blows grant increased mobility, weapon range, and handling for a short duration. That's probably in the bottom of my list for weapons for PvP, but I do really like Killing Wind. Then lastly, in trade column number 1, Dynamic Sway Reduction. Honestly, the best option here right next to Perpetual Motion. Improves accuracy and stability while continuously holding down the trigger. Now under trade column number 2, we do have things like Rangefinder, Fragile Focus, Harmony, Cascade Point, but honestly, the best option here, as we know, is target lock. Again, a lot of weapons take advantage of this in the Crucible, specifically the Immortal. There are a couple other SMGs that can come with target lock, and just having it on there, increasing that TTK for pretty much for free, is just a solid perk to have. Again, damage increases the longer this weapon remains on the target. That is what kind of makes this SMG very good in the Crucible, because it's a different archetype than the Immortal. The base range for this weapon is already longer, so as long as you can max out the range with the other perks and, you know, have something like Perpetual Motion, Dynamic Sway to kind of help control the recoil a little bit and help with other stats, Target Lock is easily the best option for trade column number 2 and to have on this weapon in general. And lastly, for Masterwork, like you already know, opt for that range. I really don't have much else to say about this SMG, honestly. The gameplay has just been in the background the whole time, and you guys can see that it kills pretty quickly and at solid ranges as well. If you don't have an Immortal, this could be a very good option for you to have in your PvP arsenal, and I already gave you what God Rolls to look out for. I still don't have the perfect God Roll, as you can tell from my SMG, and it still performs extremely well in PvP. But that, ladies and gentlemen, are my thoughts on the Unending Tempest Crucible SMG that came with Season of the Witch. Again, get it for yourself, test it out for yourself, let me know what you think. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know. But if you like what you saw, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and then turn on that bell next to notifications so you don't miss out on another video here on the channel. If you didn't know, we live stream here on YouTube and also on Kick. That link will be in the description. Again, YouTube is mainly just Destiny 2 stuff. I'm going to be sticking to one game the whole time, and Kick is a little bit for variety. If you do want to hop in for Destiny 2 stuff, again, I am running, you know, PvE, PvP, dungeons, raids, any of that stuff for Destiny 2. If you want to hop in, just hop in the chat. We'll figure something out. And if you want to be proactive, join my Discord. That link will be in the description as well. Again, people are looking to play Destiny 2 in the Discord, forming parties, forming fire teams, all that great stuff. But we also are talking about other games, PC tech, anime, and more. Lastly, if you're looking to support the channel even more so I can continue making this content for you guys, you can always look into becoming a member. If you don't know what a membership is essentially like a Twitch subscription. Again, you're going to gain access to the exclusive emotes, the monthly badges, and other cool stuff here on the channel. So if you would like some more information, all you have to do is press the join button next subscribe, and that'll give you a rundown with all the details you need. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been your boy. We'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.
Zone A lost. It's a power play. Get those zones back. Zone C captured.